Today I'll be flying the DJI Air 3 in the snow. I'm here in the beautiful Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania, and if you want to see what this drone can do in tough conditions, then this is the video for you. My name is Nico. I'm a professional drone pilot and medical doctor who loves to fly, so stick around if you want to see some cool snow shots. So the conditions today are definitely tough, with wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour and temperatures around 17 degrees Fahrenheit. To combat this, I'm going to be flying in sport mode. So I have my obstacle avoidance sensors deactivated, I have full control over the drone, and I have full control over the gimbal. I'm actually really impressed by the DJI Air 3. Coming in at about 720 grams, it's the perfect in-between drone compared to the Mavic 3 and something smaller like the DJI Mini. At first, I wasn't sure if the DJI Air 3 would hold up well in these tough conditions. One thing that I use to judge how well a drone can handle tough conditions is the sudden movement of the gimbal when you're flying aggressively. A few times in these video clips, you'll notice a sudden jerking movement of the image, which has to do with the overwhelming force that the gimbal feels. When flying smaller drones like the DJI Neo or the DJI Mini, this issue is exacerbated and leads you to footage that you basically can't use. I also want to mention that all the footage that you're seeing in today's clips are in 4K 30 frames per second. None of the footage is edited or color graded, so this is the exact type of footage you'll expect to see fresh out of the box with the DJI Air 3. As I was making this video, I was really impressed by both cameras, the 24mm 1x camera and the 70mm 3x optical zoom camera. As you saw there was a little tilt in the gimbal, which goes to show the tough conditions that I'm flying in. Right now I'm using the 24mm lens, which is the regular wide angle lens that comes with most of the DJI drones. Here is a 3x telephoto lens where I'm doing a pan around the house. As you can see, the snowfall is coming from right to left. So here I'm flying directly into the wind, and the gimbal is actually holding up really well in this shot. Actually super impressed. So here we are later in the day, and at night the DJI Air 3 continues to impress. The wide angle camera captures great detail in low light, and the HDR video mode balances the highlights and shadows beautifully. As you can see there in the top of the screen, that's actually a snow mountain in the back, something that you weren't able to see earlier in the day because the snowfall was a little bit more aggressive. So the visibility is a little bit better compared to earlier, but still not as much natural light, and as you can see, the drone still holds up really well. So here I am panning to the right. I'm using the 3x 70mm optical zoom lens. One thing I noticed when I'm using the 70mm lens is that the image quality is a little bit more grainy at night compared to the regular 24mm lens, but you still get really great dynamic range. So here is another clip where I'm basically going to be showing you the same movement, but I'm using a 24mm lens. So I'm not sure if you guys can tell on YouTube, but the image looks a little bit less grainy to me, and just overall a better image on the regular 24mm lens. So here I am, which is basically the same movement as the previous clip where I'm panning down, and still great dynamic range, just a little bit better color profile on the 24mm lens. So here we are the following morning. This is a post-storm flight. Visibility is a little bit better today. We got about 6 inches of snow overnight. You can see the snow mountain in the back a little bit better. Conditions are relatively the same with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour, but much better visibility. Here I am flying straight up and panning down, getting a cool dynamic shot of the house. Here I am panning kind of to the right. This was a similar shot that I showed you the clips of the nighttime. This is the 24mm wide angle lens. kind of panning back and panning up, see if I could get some cool dynamic shots. Here's my dad scraping some ice off of his car heading into work. I definitely don't miss shoveling snow and scraping snow off of your windshield. Basically did this my whole life growing up here in Pennsylvania. Definitely don't miss this. Probably should have been helping my dad a little bit here, but I think he'll be alright. So I'm still doing everything manually here, flying only in sport mode. One thing that helps me feel really safe flying around these tree branches is that the newer DJI drones like the Air 3, the Mini 4 Pro, and the Mavic 3 allow you to see outside of the sensors. So I feel really safe and in control knowing that I could focus on my subject and also see what's around me. Here I am flying up one of the main roads in sport mode. Everything's still completely manual. This is a cool dynamic shot. I've been flying all weekend, multiple hours per day, so I'm feeling a little bit warmed up here. My rates are set pretty aggressively in sport mode, so I'm able to pan down on the gimbal and use the yaw motion very aggressively. I could smooth it out a little bit, but overall I personally like the rates to be aggressive, so if I want to get a cool dynamic shot, I'm able to, although I lose a little bit of the cinematic smoothness. Here I am just messing around completely, spinning around, flying up, panning up. Could have been a cool shot if it was a little bit less jerky, but overall kind of unique. Definitely a cool little shot. And then here we are finishing out the day with a nice little sunset. This is looking over the valley. Sun is setting around 4:30, 5 o'clock here in Pennsylvania. And then I wanted to add a few of these shots just to provide a little bit of context with what you were seeing in today's video. This was a few days before we got all this snowfall. So as you can see, no snowfall on the ground at all here in the mountains in Pennsylvania. You can see there in the top of your screen that the snow mountain is fully active. I figured these images will allow people to kind of view the nighttime images, the daytime images, the aggressive snow conditions, and kind of just compare and contrast the image that you'll see. So here it was basically a nice sunny day, a little bit of overcast on the mountain, and you could compare these to the other ones and basically see what you think. So overall, really fun snow flight. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and thanks again for watching.